In my last review, I reviewed Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, including Tom and Jerry. Yeah, I'm gonna say that to that movie. Well, this time, I'm gonna be reviewing The Magic Lane. This movie came out after the first movie, which means that this is the very first movie that was released in VHS and DVD. Anyway, this movie isn't one of the greatest movies I ever seen from Tom and Jerry, but it really works better than Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The best part about this movie is that Tom and Jerry are in the spotlight, not background characters or characters that just thrown in just to help the other characters. They're actually the main characters, and the slapstick is all over the place in this movie. That is how a Tom and Jerry movie should be. And that's not even the best part about this movie. The plot is the wizard. I know he has a name, but I forgot his name. I know I keep forgetting people's names, but I'm really trying my best to remembering them. Told Tom to protect the Wayne at all cost. And guess what? Jerry puts it on. And throughout this entire movie, they leave the Haunted Mansion because Tom needs to get Jerry back, and all that Jerry wants is to get that Wayne off of his head. I know that they completely dragged this on for way too long, but for a Tom and Jerry movie, it works. I may don't like this movie like I used to back when I was so little that I really like cartoons, which includes this show, but for looking at it right now, it may not be aged well because there are problems with this movie, and I'll get to them later. I still found this way better than the 2010 movies. In my opinion, the 2000s Tom and Jerry movies are what Tom and Jerry should do in movies. They even have characters and maybe new characters, I think, in this, and there's a lot of them. And they really do a perfect role in this movie. Like, Jerry's cousin has a cameo in this movie, and there's a lot of cameos from other characters. This is how a Tom and Jerry should work as a movie by its own. Have no crossovers, and try to have the idea work as possible in order to have the kids be entertained. Now, I'm not saying that this movie is very perfect by any means, but I really think that this is what a Tom and Jerry movie should be. The slapstick, well, all over the place, is still very entertaining, and it actually made me laugh throughout this entire movie. And I really enjoyed those scenes a lot when I was little. I really changed my opinions about the slapstick nowadays, since to me it gets really old, but looking at it right now, it's still kind of humorless. But let's get into the problems with the movie. And that is the voice acting. The voice acting is really annoying, and the music is really obnoxious. I didn't like the soundtrack of this movie at all when I was little, and it really irritates me a lot. I really didn't like the scores of the Tom and Jerry directed DVD movies. I know that they're not supposed to be high budget, but it's really obnoxious and it's very distracting for the most part. As for the plot of the movie, it may be predictable, and the ending was really stupid considering the fact that Tom can't even speak to his pet owner about that he wasn't about to steal his Wayne. But, and I really hate how Tom really gets the punishment after everything he went through in this movie. I mean, he's just trying to protect the Wayne, and all because of Jerry's ideas of getting rid of Tom always has to get in the way, which is really annoying. Now, I don't hate the wizard in this movie, but he's just doing all the stuff, well, all wizards do. And at the ending of this, well, he thinks that Tom completely stole his Wayne, even though he really didn't mean to. It's just a very sad ending for Tom. I know Tom is supposed to be the enemy in these cartoons, but there are some times where he wins. I'm not saying that he should be the winner at everything, but considering the fact that the Tom and Jerry movies from the 2000s always has to have Jerry win, it's kind of disappointing in my opinion. And yes, I know Tom actually wins in the other movies. However, Joey wins as well, and I just want to see Tom at least win in one of these movies. I didn't watch all the movies, but I'm sure that Tom should at least win by himself without Joey. Especially that Joey always gets the cliche ending of beating Tom at the end. I don't hate Joey, I just didn't like how this movie has to end where Joey has to win all the time. I just don't like that. As for the weighing around of Joey's neck, I've seen some of this stuff before, but here's the thing. This is the first time I actually see this happening. And I really like the Wayne's power. And I do like the fact that Joey's just trying to get the Wayne out of his head throughout this entire movie. I mean, it did happen twice in this movie. One is where the dog is actually completely got the Wayne out of Joey's head. And at the ending of the movie, well, he found a bottle of liquid that can easily remove stuff out of your skin easily. I really like this plot a lot, and even though that it's not the most intelligent and most original piece, at least for what I know, if there's any movies that did something like this before it, I still found it very entertaining and really enjoyed Joey's plot in this movie. This movie has a mixed bag for me. I mean, there was some stuff that I do like and some stuff that I really annoyed. But for what it is, I think a Tom and Joey movie should have been like this all this time. I mean, if Tom and Joey is gonna stay in this generation and pretty much years later, they should probably have ideals, be cliches, but do them right and not have them as a crossover. I don't have a problem with Tom and Joey doing cliches because they're showing this to a longer audience, not for the kids who are actually teenagers or any of that kind of stuff. I just don't take Tom and Joey movies too seriously because I just see them as very innocent and more kindly and watchable movies for little kids. At least for my taste. If you guys have different opinions about this movie, please comment down below and I'll talk about it. I give this movie a 6.8 out of 10. I really prefer this movie than the crossover movies. I will review the other 2000 movies, but one is enough. I'll see you next time.